KURV versus YIELDMAX. The complete 2024 performance battle. Which provider really won? Think you know which option strategy ETF provider is winning? The numbers tell a shocking story. With both KURV and YIELDMAX fighting for dominance across 6 major tech stocks, the results will surprise even seasoned investors. Let's settle the biggest debate in tech ETF investing right now with fresh data through Christmas Eve 2024. We're comparing all 6 pairs of ETFs, and if you're holding any of these, you'll want to watch this entire breakdown. Starting with the most dramatic outperformer, Netflix. YIELDMAX's NFLY delivered an astounding 84.46% return since October 2023, significantly outperforming KURV's NFLP at 68.16%. On a $10,000 investment, NFLY would have given you $18,445, while NFLP returned $16,815. That's a clear win for YIELDMAX. The Apple battle shows another YIELDMAX victory. Apes ALI generated a 30.36% return, outpacing KURV's AAPY at 21.42%. That's nearly $900 more on a $10,000 investment. The consistency of APLI's returns is particularly noteworthy, with lower volatility and more predictable income generation. Microsoft tells a similar story, with YIELDMAX's MSFO delivering 23.37% versus KURV's MSFY at 16.41%. The gap here represents about $700 difference on a $10,000 investment, again favoring YIELDMAX's approach. But here's where it gets interesting. Google shows a complete reversal. KURV's Goop dominated with a 37.51% return, while YIELDMAX's GUOI only managed 14.44%. That's a massive $2,307 difference on a $10,000 investment, marking KURV's biggest victory. The Amazon comparison is razor thin. KURV's AMZP at 51.23%, versus YIELDMAX's AMZI at 50.19%. This minimal difference, just $104 on a $10,000 investment, shows how closely matched these strategies can be. Tesla reveals another KURV victory, with TSLP generating 71.45% versus TSLY's 65.71%. That's an extra $575 on a $10,000 investment favoring KURV's approach. Now let's talk about risk, because this is where things get really interesting. When we look at the biggest drops these funds experienced, YIELDMAX generally handled market stress better. Looking at this year's performance, interesting patterns emerge. YIELDMAX shows strong performance with certain tech giants. They're ahead with Netflix by 16.64%. Apple by 8.94%, and Microsoft by 6.96%. Meanwhile, KURV has notable wins too, particularly with Google, leading by 23.07%. The Amazon ETFs show nearly identical results, with just a 1% difference between providers. What's fascinating is that there's no clear formula for which provider performs better. While YIELDMAX has some impressive returns with companies like Netflix and Apple, and KURV shows strength with others like Google and Tesla, the overall performance difference between providers is often quite narrow. The Amazon case, where both strategies produced almost identical returns, suggests that these option income approaches might be more similar than different. Looking ahead to 2025, what does this mean for your portfolio? The data suggests that both providers can deliver solid returns, and the choice between them might be less crucial than previously thought. While YIELDMAX has shown slightly better consistency in some cases, and KURV has its own victories, the differences aren't dramatic enough to definitively favor one provider over the other. The bottom line? Neither provider consistently outperforms the other across all stocks. Rather than trying to pick a winner, investors might be better served focusing on the option income strategy itself, as both providers seem capable of executing it effectively. The key might not be which provider you choose, but rather your comfort level with option income ETFs as part of your overall investment strategy.